Seismic sea waves, frequently alluded to as seismic ocean waves, are catastrophic events of massive, horrendous potential. These massive maritime waves can decimate seaside networks and districts, abandoning a path of obliteration and misfortune. This complete article dives into the diverse parts of seismic sea waves, covering their different causes, the harms they incur, and a point-by-point verifiable record of critical tidal wave occasions. Reasons for waves. Waves can be started by a few regular peculiarities, each subsequent in the uprooting of an enormous volume of water. Reasons for submerged seismic tremors. Submerged quakes are principally brought about by the moving of structural plates underneath the world's surface. The world's lithosphere, which comprises unbending plates that make up the mainlands and seafloor, is in a steady condition of movement. At the point when these plates cooperate at plate limits, colossal strain develops because of the contact between them. This strain is ultimately delivered as seismic energy, prompting a tremor. System of submerged tremors. Subduction zones. One of the most widely recognized settings for submerged tremors is subduction zones. In these locales, one structural plate is constrained underneath one more in a cycle known as subduction. This happens on the grounds that maritime plates are denser than mainland plates. As the denser maritime plate sinks into the world's mantle, it can become locked against the superseding plate. Over the long haul, stress develops until it is delivered as a quake. Change limits. At change limits, two structural plates slide past one another evenly. This development isn't generally smooth, and rubbing can make the plates become stuck. At the point when the pressure beats this rubbing, it prompts an unexpected arrival of energy, bringing about a quake. Fracture zones. In fracture zones, structural plates are creating some distance from one another. As the plates are independent, the world's outside becomes extended and debilitated. At last, this pressure is delivered as a tremor. Submarine issues. Submerged quakes happen along submarine deficiencies, which are breaks or crack zones in the world's outside layer. These deficiencies can be upward, known as should-be-expected issues, level, known as strike-slip blames, or slanted, known as pushed flaws. Add circle. The development of these shortcomings creates seismic waves that spread through the earth, making the ground shake. The wave association. The basic component that joins submerged seismic tremors to waves is the upward development of the ocean bottom. At the point when a submerged quake happens, it can cause an unexpected elevate or subsidence of the ocean bottom. If the ocean bottom is uprooted upwards, it dislodges an enormous volume of water above it, making a progression of waves that transmit outward every which way. These waves can traverse whole sea bowls, finishing in the development of seismic sea waves. Observing and relieving submerged tremors. Propels in seismology, oceanography, and early admonition frameworks have essentially worked on our capacity to screen submerged tremors. Seismometers, situated on the seafloor and ashore, can recognize seismic action and give critical information to tidal wave advance notice frameworks. These frameworks assist specialists with giving convenient alerts to waterfront networks, permitting them to make an equivocal move and look for higher ground in case of an unavoidable wave danger. 2. Volcanic ejections. Volcanic ejections, especially those happening underneath or close to waterways, can likewise set off tidal waves. Dangerous volcanic occasions can oust enormous amounts of material into the ocean, producing waves that engender across the sea. 3. Avalanches. Submerged avalanches, whether set off by quakes, volcanic emissions, or other geographical exercises, are powerful impetuses for seismic sea waves. The fast removal of an enormous mass of dregs or rock into the sea can induce the development of seismic sea waves. 4. Shooting star effects. While somewhat uncommon, waves can be produced by the effect of a shooting star or space rock in the sea. The colossal energy delivered upon influence powers water to uproot, making waves that transmit outward from the effect site. 5. Atomic blasts. Man-made blasts, like submerged atomic tests, can possibly deliver seismic sea waves. In any case, such occasions are exceptionally controlled and rare, making them a remarkable reason for seismic sea waves. Harms brought about by waves. Tidal waves have the ability to incur extreme and far-reaching harm for seaside regions, frequently because of the accompanying variables. 1. Immersion. The essential and prompt effect of a torrent is immersion, where strong waves flood inland, flooding low-lying seaside districts. This immersion can prompt the annihilation of homes, foundations, and farmland. 2. Solid flows. Seismic sea waves produce impressive flows that can remove trees, uproot weighty articles, and disintegrate shores. This can bring about the further annihilation of structures and frameworks, fueling the general effect. 3. Saline tainting. Tidal waves can bring salt water into freshwater sources, delivering them undrinkable and negative to horticulture. This tainting can affect impacted networks. 4. Waterfront disintegration. The power of torrent waves can strip away oceanside sand and dissolve waterfront land, for all time changing the shape and design of the impacted region. This disintegration can have enduring environmental and financial outcomes. 5. Human losses. Tidal waves can possibly cause a critical death toll, especially in thickly populated waterfront regions. The quick immersion and solid flows make evade testing, prompting appalling results. Financial effect. The monetary cost of tidal waves can lurch, with billions of dollars in punitive fees to foundations, organizations, and enterprises like fisheries and the travel industry. The drawn-out monetary recuperation of impacted locales can be an extended and testing process. History of seismic sea waves. Seismic sea waves, frequently called seismic ocean waves, have made a permanent imprint on mankind's set of experiences. These huge maritime occasions, set off by different regular peculiarities, have molded human advancements, affected societies, and significantly influenced waterfront networks all through the ages. This is the narrative of waves. Antiquated thoughts and translations. Antiquated civilizations, frequently deficient with regard to the logical comprehension we have today, endeavored to make sense of the event of waves through fantasy, legend, and old stories. In Greece, seismic sea waves is gotten from su, harbor, and nami, wave, mirroring the authentic comprehension of these occasions. Minoan emission and the Santorini seismic sea waves, around 1600 BCE. Quite possibly the earliest reported wave traces all the way back to around 1600 BCE. The ejection of the volcanic island of Thera, today known as Santorini, in the Aegean Ocean, is accepted to have created a huge wave that influenced the old Minoan human progress. This calamitous occasion might have affected the account of the lost city of Atlantis, as depicted by Plato. Authentic tidal waves. Jogan seismic sea waves, 869 CE. Japan encountered overwhelming seismic sea waves in 869 CE, known as the Jogan wave. Authentic records demonstrate that the waves arrived at momentous levels, causing broad annihilation. This occasion filled in as an unmistakable sign of the weakness of seaside networks to catastrophic events. Lisbon seismic tremor and tidal wave, 1755. On November 1, 1755, a strong seismic tremor struck off the bank of Portugal, producing huge seismic sea waves. The waves immersed Lisbon and unleashed devastation along the banks of Spain, France, and surprisingly, the Caribbean. This occasion denoted a defining moment in the logical comprehension of tidal waves and added to the improvement of current seismology. Krakatoa, 1883. Quite possibly the most scandalous volcanic emission in history, happened in 1883 with the blast of Krakatoa in Indonesia. The power of the ejection produced waves that transmitted outward, bringing about more than 36,000 passings. The occasion's effect stretched out a long way past the Quick District, impacting worldwide environment designs. Current seismic sea waves. Lituya Sound, 1958. In 1958, a quake set off an avalanche that caused a wave in Lituya Sound, Gold Country. This occasion prompted the most elevated wave at any point recorded, with an astonishing level of roughly 1,120 feet, 524 meters. The sheer size of this wave fills in as a chilling sign of the horrendous capability of seismic sea waves. Indian Sea Wave, 2004. On December 26, 2004, a gigantic undersea quake off the shoreline of Sumatra, Indonesia, set off quite possibly the deadliest tidal wave in written history. The quake, with a greatness of 9.1 and 9.3, dislodged a giant volume of water, creating waves that cleared across the Indian Sea. This horrendous occasion killed north of 230,000 individuals across 14 nations, making it quite possibly the most annihilating catastrophic event in ongoing memory. Japan, 2011. The Tohoku quake and seismic sea waves in Japan on Walk 11, 2011, was a seismic and tidal wave occasion of extraordinary extent. innovation progresses, early admonition frameworks and debacle, the executive's techniques keep on improving, determined to limit the effect of these strong occasions on beachfront networks around the world. The examples gained from verifiable tidal waves act as significant tokens of the significance of carefulness and readiness, despite such catastrophic events.